think we got it all.
Cool.
You and Rebney.
Coming up next on Fighting Words with Mike Straka.
I'm asked every day, why are you in the UFC? Why are you in the UFC? I wasn't aware that the end of all means is to make it to the UFC.
That's coming up next on Fighting Words with Mike Straka. Welcome back to Fighting Words with Mike Straka. This week's guest, Eddie Alvarez.
You know, a lot of people want to know, when you get to a place where you are in your career, how did you avoid the UFC for so long?
I'm asked every day, why are you in the UFC? Why are you in the UFC? And people actually look down on me like, you're ranked third in the world, so when you gonna go to UFC? It's like, I wasn't aware that the end of all means is to make it to the UFC, but it seems that way among most fans. So to be honest with you, I don't think we ever got an offer that made me feel secure enough to say, all right, it's time to go there. I have nothing against UFC. Actually, I watch every one, and Dana White and the guys, they do a great job. For me, I like to fight a lot. I like to fight good people, and I like to get paid. Three things. I'm a prize fighter. I need a prize, and I need to feel like I'm taken care of, and that's all I want from any promotion that I was to fight with, is to feel secure financially. I'm from a nasty area in Philly. I come from a poverty-stricken area that you don't even want to, go to, and I don't ever want to go back there. Ever, ever, ever. And when I look at what I have for me and my family today, that I got through hard work and fighting, I'm really nervous about, any day, could be your day that this is all over. It's done. So it's important to capitalize as much as I can while I'm in it. And I want a promotion that's going to be behind me to say, here's the money, this is one thing you don't have to worry about. Now go train and put on a crazy fight for us. And I don't mind doing that as long as you're willing to compensate me.
You just had another baby boy, Alistair.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many kids you have now?
I got 3, all boys.
Your wife's going to have her hands full, huh?
Absolutely. She's actually at home with them now. So that's my chick, man. She's been with me way before this whole fighting thing and everything else. So she's definitely the one to have by my side, and I feel comfortable being able to be away and know that they're all right. So.
Now you have 2 losses on your career, Nick Thompson and Shinya Aoki. Now Aoki lost to Melendez. Did you see that fight?
Yeah.
What do you think Aoki did wrong in that fight? If anything. I mean, not to take anything away from Melendez, I think he's a great fighter.
Aoki never adapted to the fight, and I don't think it's his fault. I don't think he had any other tools to be able to win that fight. He used every tool he had, which was let's get a takedown and let's go for a submission. And they're his only tools. He has no striking to be able to blind you and then get the takedown. He's maybe two-dimensional, I wouldn't say one-dimensional, but maybe two-dimensional, and he used all of his dimensions, and they all dried up, and he wasn't able to adapt no further to the fight because he didn't have any more tools.
Do you want that fight back?
Absolutely. I'm gonna guess that Aoki's not going to come back here. He had a bad experience. I think he's going to stick in Japan, where he's a huge asset, and the fans love him there. But I think what I have with Bellator now, and I'm going to continue to defend my title and beat the guys that are in front of me. That Bjorn and the promotion here are going to do what they can to get the guys in front of me that we need to get for me to get the #1.
One of those guys is Roger Huerta. There's a nice challenge if you guys both end up, well, if he ends up in the finals, you'll get a chance to fight with Roger. Now, is that something that appeals to you?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a name from the UFC. It's good to always fight a guy who did well and made his mark in the UFC. When he comes out and signs it with another promotion, it's good to fight them guys and beat them guys, because people go, oh, yeah, you beat a guy from the UFC, now I'm good. Now people consider me, a good fighter, which it's weird, but people just have that misconception.
How did you become a fighter?
I've wrestled a lot in high school and North Catholic. I grew up in Kensington. That's where Rocky was filmed. It's a big, big fighting town, boxing primarily, but a big fighting town. And I tell people all the time, when you're a kid and you're playing hockey with your friends or you're playing stickball with your friends, we used to fight. We used to slap box, or we used to I used to literally bring a set of gloves, a couple sets of gloves down the street, knock on my friend's door, and we used to fight. We used to box each other in the middle of the street. And the only time we break is a car would come down the street. We'd say, hold on, break. The car would go by, and then we'd fight again. But fighting was big. It's like, you don't want to slap box, and you slap box in the middle of a basketball court or something. And that's just how it was growing up. Fighting was our stickball, our hockey, our basketball, you know.
Talk about your Bellator career. I mean, was it a risk for you to say, okay, I'm going to leave Dream where I've made my money, I've got a lot of fans in Japan, I fought a lot of great guys in Japan. Was it a risk to say, okay, let me commit to Bellator?
No. It wasn't a risk for me to commit to Bellator, being that my manager negotiated a very good sign-on bonus from the very beginning. And we did that because it was risky. In the past, I signed with Elite XC, and I committed myself to Elite XC, and I got burned. And the reason I got burned is because I never asked for a sign-on bonus or anything like that. And it's important with newer promotions to secure yourself before you even fight, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know if even a show is going to happen, one show. So we did that, and we made sure that financially it was okay. Next, all I had to do was train for fights.
Eddie, you have a tremendous outlook on this industry. I think more so than almost any other fighter that I've interviewed who isn't already at the top of the UFC. How did you get to this point where you found the organizations that pay you well, you can support your family, you can go to the gym without worrying about when your next mortgage payment's going to come from? How did you get that?
I think my fans, my local fans, originally, it started in the very beginning of my career. I marketed myself, and I made myself a commodity to the promotions, where the promotions would fight over me to fight on their card versus me needing the promotion. The promotions needed me. So I wanted to continue my career like that. I felt comfortable financially where I can keep the competition among the promotions and let them have the stress of having to pay for me versus me begging to be on a bigger promotion. And I think I just kept that same formula throughout my career, and even to this day I have a good manager who's able to do that for me, who's able to keep promotions fighting for me versus me having to beg someone to be on their card.
Right.
When I stopped doing concrete work, maybe like 5, 6 years back, all I wanted to do when I was doing concrete work, all I thought about all day was how I was wasting my time. You're just wasting your time. You could be training and wasting my time doing concrete. So I promised myself that if I was ever able to make enough money and just fight for a living, that was my only goal, that I would treat it like a job. I would treat fighting like a job, and no different than I treated concrete. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd put my 8 hours in, and I'd go to bed at night. And I still keep that promise to myself. After 6, 7 years, I still stay grounded and keep that promise to myself to treat it like a job and always stay grounded and know that promise that I made to myself a long time ago.
You know, you say something really poignant there when you say stay grounded. Why is it important to stay grounded in order to keep training?
Because I think that if you get too far ahead of yourself, you won't continue to learn. You have to, in mixed martial arts period, you have to stay open-minded and open to new things and to keep learning. Call it like a child at play, a beginner's mind. I read, it's called a beginner's mind, and I try to keep a beginner's mind because that'll always keep me open and learning new things and always staying humble to be able to just continue to improve, period.
How old are you, Eddie?
26.
How much longer are you going to be doing this?
I can't say. I would like to be able to have another good 10 years, maybe go to 35, retire. If I can retire and make enough money to support my family through fighting, that's a dream, man. That's a dream. If I can say one day, hey, to my wife and my kids, financially, we're done. You know, I'm gonna relax, chill out. We're gonna be able to hang out a little bit more, and I'll venture off and do other things. But if I can seriously take care of my family and do this, and it's getting closer and closer, then I couldn't ask for anything more.
Eddie Alvarez, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.